Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you're getting inconsistent pop-off pressure on a dual set of carbs doing a pop-off pressure test. Pop-off is the amount of pressure required to lift the needle off of the seat, allowing more fuel to enter the fuel chamber. This valve is very important in delivering the amount of fuel required to efficiently meter fuel at all throttle ranges. So to do a pop-off pressure test, we're going to take our pump, we're going to connect it to the fitting with the arrow in, and we're going to take a line that's blocked off, and we're going to block off this fitting, the out arrow. Alright, basically what we're going to do is we're going to pump air into this large port, and that air is going to exhibit pressure on that needle. When it reaches a certain pressure, alright, that needle is going to finally lift up off the seat. Pop-off pressure is just a test on the bench. What really happens is we have manifold pressure or vacuum from the engine. So when RPMs increase, the engine creates an even higher negative pressure gradient. And that pressure gradient actually causes this diaphragm to kind of suck in and press down on that lever. And that lifts that needle up further, allowing more fuel to enter the fuel chamber, so there's proper metering going on. Now, first reason why you might be getting inconsistent pop-off pressure. You might have a mismatch of diaphragms. I got an OEM diaphragm right here. It's nice and pliable. The material is perfect. It's light. You can see the button right there. This diaphragm is a piece of crap. It's aftermarket. It's a heavier material. The button is a little bit smaller, and that's going to change your pop-off. Now, if you're using two of the same diaphragms, you're going to get the same kind of performance. It's still going to be crappy with the aftermarket, but that's the first reason. And while we're talking about aftermarket parts, I also want to take note that the needle and seat valve is very important. It needs to be OEM. It needs to be made by Mikuni. It cannot be aftermarket. All right, this is an OEM seat, and this is an aftermarket seat. All right. The aftermarket is actually taller and it has a fatter O-ring. It's going to take a little more force, and it's not actually going to sit as far down as the OEM seat, okay? Which leads to my second reason. Another reason why you're getting inconsistent pop-off pressure is you have not fastened this retainer seat all the way down. All right, some people are afraid to strip that JIS screw in there. So when fastening that screw, make sure you're pushing down hard. You're using the correct screwdriver, the JIS type head, and that retaining plate is allowing that seat to sit fully down. If not, you're actually decreasing the length of the spring, and you're going to get an inconsistent reading. A third reason is someone could have bent the needle lever arm and is not congruent with the other one. I would suggest taking this lever out, and you're going to put it on the same pin as the other one. You're going to line those both up, and you're just going to check to see if it's bent. Now, you can bend it back, but that runs you the risk of overcompensating and just never getting it back to its original position. When rebuilding your carbs, I also suggest that you buy a new needle arm pin set. Now, the fourth and final reason why you're getting inconsistent numbers between two carbs could be that the spring recess holes weren't machined equally. Check the levers, they're fine. The seats are fine, the springs are fine. You mix and match each component, you're still getting inconsistent numbers. This is what you need to do. You need to actually take calipers, stick it down in this recess hole, and you need to measure the depth to this part of the casting. If your measurements are 0.2, 0.3 millimeters off, that is actually causing those springs to either be longer or shorter than the other, and that's going to affect your pop-off pressure. There are 3 ways to fix this problem. The first way is taking a punch and a hammer and just lightly tapping that recess hole. You got to remember, aluminum is a softer metal, so tap lightly, take a measurement. If it's not there yet, again, tap lightly a couple times again until you get to the measurement that is on the other carb. All right, when it's finally equal, you're gonna do a pop-off pressure test and verify. So the second way is taking the carb with the shorter measurement and drilling it out with a drill press. You just got to make sure you clean that up so that the spring sits nice and flat. So the third and final way for dealing with this problem is by using shims in the recessed holes. You can actually go to the hardware store and buy aluminum shaped like this. You can cut it, flatten it, and using that punch and hammer, lightly tap it in until you get the correct measurement. So whatever you do, make sure you're doing the pop-off test 3 times in a row and you're getting the same number each time. Also verify the pop-off measurements between each carb differ no greater than 1 to 2 psi. Hopefully, one of these strategies can help you verify and set pop-off pressure of your carburetors on your workbench. Thank you for watching this video. One way you can support me is by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Thank you very much, and as always, God bless. Yeah.